Well, students, to the homework help video. Let's jump right into this. Page 276, numbers 13 through 21 odd, says to write the equation of the line in slope intercept form. So here we go. Now remember, guys, anytime you are given the slope of a line and the y-intercept of a line, you just simply write y, then it equals, then you put the slope right here, then you put x next to it, and then you put the y-intercept here. And that's it. Students, there is no reason for any student to miss these types of problems. Writing a linear equation when you are given the slope and the y-intercept is really, really simple. And don't forget, that's the same thing as m and b, okay? So you've been given the slope, or we could say you've been given m, and you've been given the y-intercept, or we could say that you've been given b, alright? The y-intercept is just simply the place that the line crosses the y-axis. Alright? 15, same thing. They've given you your slope, which is your m. They've given you your y-intercept, which is your b. So you simply write y, then equals, then write your slope, then put the letter x, and then write your y-intercept, and you're finished. Number 17. Same thing. They've given us our slope, which is my m. They've given us the y-intercept, which is b. So you write the letter y, you write an equal sign, then you write the slope, then you put the letter x, and then you write the y-intercept, which is positive 1. Number 19. Okay, here's my slope, here's my y-intercept. So I write y, then equals, then my slope, which is negative 3, then the letter or the variable x, and then my y-intercept, which is negative 1/2. Moving on, number 21. Okay, now look, guys, pretty simple. Do I know my y-intercept? Yes. Negative 1, 2, 3. The line is crossing the y-axis at negative 3. So I can say that my y-intercept equals negative 3, or I can say b equals negative 3. Now, do I know the slope? No, I don't. I can find that very quickly. I go up. Actually, I see a point here, and I see a point here, right here, so I go over 1 and up 1. That's 1, 1. From left to right, the line is sloping upward, so it's a positive slope, and it's rise over run, so a positive 1 over 1, which is 1. So there, my slope is 1, or my m is 1, so I know my slope and my y-intercept, so I write y, then equals, then my slope, then x, and then my y-intercept, which is negative 3. Okay, number 22. Students, it's the exact same thing. 1, 2. So the blue line is crossing the y-axis at 2. So my y-intercept is 2. So my y-intercept equals 2, or I can say b equals 2. Now my slope, well, let's see. I've got a point here, and my next one is here. So I have rise over run. Now, from the left to right, the line is sloping downward. So it's going to be a negative slope. rise is 1, 2. My run is 1, 2, 3. So I have rise over run. So my slope, or my m, is negative 2/3. So you're given the y-intercept, you're given the slope, so the linear equation would be y, then equals, then my slope, then the variable x, and then my y-intercept, which is positive 2. And there we go. We wrote a bunch of linear equations when given the slope and the y-intercept. Alright? Okay, moving on to page 282, number 15. Now, the directions say to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So here we go. This is the formula I have taught you to use when you're given a point and the slope. Use this formula here. Okay? Now remember, students, when we get into using this formula, remember the y, that does not have a number down here like this one does, and the x, that does not have a number down here, a subscript is what it's called, like this one does. Those you leave alone. This y stays a y. This x stays an x. Okay? Please don't forget that. Alright, here we go. Okay, students, here's my x, here's my y, here's my m. So, y minus, I put a negative 3 in, equals m, negative 4, and x minus 1. And now let's simplify and get y all by itself, and we're done. Y minus a negative 3 is positive 3. Take your negative 4 and multiply it through. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. Now, the direction said to write the equation in slope-intercept form, which means to get y all by itself. So bring the positive 3 over, make it a negative 3, and we're left with y equals negative 4x positive 1. There we go. We did it. I gave you a point and a slope, and we wrote a linear equation for that information. Okay, students, number 17, here we go. Here's my x and my y and my m. So, y minus 3 equals m, which is 4, and x minus 1. And now let's get y by itself. Y negative 3 equals 4 times x is 4x, and 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Now, bring the negative 3 over, make it a positive 3, and we're left with y equals 4x negative 1. Alright? Okay, moving on to number 19. Okay, here we go. We're given a point and a slope. So here's the formula we're going to use. Here's my x, my y, and my m. Okay? So y minus 2 equals m, which is 1/3. X minus negative 3. Now here we go. Y negative 2. No simplifying that I can do here. Over here, x minus negative 3 makes it a positive 3. Now here we go. 1/3 times x is 1/3 x. 1/3 times 3 is 1. Now, bring your negative 2 over, make it a positive 2, and we're left with y equals 1/3 x, positive 3. Alright, number 21. And here we go. We're given a point and a slope. Okay, so we use this formula here. Students, here's my x, here's my y, and here's my m. So, y minus a negative 2 equals m, which is 4, in parentheses, x minus 0. And now we simplify. Negative 2 makes that a positive 2. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 0 is 0. Next, let's get y by itself. We're going to do over and make it a negative 2. Y equals 4x negative 2. Alright? Guys, I hope this is making sense. Let's continue on now to number 23. Okay, students, we are given a point and a slope. So, let's use our formula here. Here we go. This is my x, this is my y, this is my m, and here we go. Y minus 4 equals m, which is 0. X minus negative 2. And here we go. Y negative 4. There's no simplifying I can do there. Okay. X minus a negative 2 makes that a positive 2. 0 times x is 0. 0 times 2 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. Bring your 4 over, make it a positive 4, and there we go, that's it. And you know what, students? That's totally fine, because 1 equals 4 is an equation that totally matches this information. Look, guys, the linear equation I'm trying to write has a line that passes through negative 2, 4, which is right here. It has a slope of 0, which means it's horizontal. And so there we go. If I have a horizontal line passing to the y-axis of 4, it's y equals 4. So there we go. Number 25. Okay, now, students, they haven't given us a point and a slope in this form here. Now they're giving us a graph. So, do we have a point? Yes. There's my point. 3, 3. The line passes through 3, 3. Here's the slope. From left to right, it's going upward. Okay? So it's a positive slope. And it's rise over run. And there we go. So now we have a point, we have a slope, so we can use our formula right here, okay? X, y, m, so y minus 3 equals m, which is 1/2, x minus 3. Now, y minus 3 cannot be simplified. However, we can simplify this over here. 1/2 times x is 1/2 x. 1/2 times negative 3 is negative 3/2. Okay? Or negative 3/2 is negative 1/2. Now bring your 3 over. Make it a positive 3. left with y equals 1/2 x. Now, 1.5 is like, if you're thinking of money, it's like $1.50. $1.5 you owe. You have 3. You can pay off your debt, and you're left with $1.5. Or, instead of 1.5, if you want to put 3 over 2 like that, that is also acceptable. Okay? Either one of those two answers are fine. Number 27. They give me a point right here, students. 0, 0. Okay? And the slope would be from left to right. It's going upward. So it's positive. My rise is 3. My run is 5. So my slope is 3/5. So let's write a linear equation that passes through this point and has this slope here. Okay? So here we go. X, y, m. So y minus 0 equals m 3/5 times x minus 0. Y minus 0, of course, is just y. 3/5 times x is 3/5 x. 3/5 times 0 is 0. And of course, anything minus 0 is just itself. So there we go. Y equals 3/5 x. Okay? And by the way, notice, I'm just saying that's a direct variation equation because it was the model. Y equals kx. K, of course, is 3/5. Okay? But you did not need to know that. I was just showing that to you. There's your answer right there for number 27. Y equals 3/5 x. Okay? Number 29. Now, students, there's really no work to be shown here. I have taught you guys when you have a vertical line, the equation is going to be x equals. If you have a horizontal line, the equation is going to be y equals some number. Okay? We have a vertical line, so it's going to be x equals some number. Okay, now, where does this line cross the x-axis at? Here's the x-axis. Where does it cross the x-axis at? Right there, which is 2. So the linear equation is simply x equals 2. Alright? Number 31. Now, listen carefully. If this problem would have said, and the y-intercept is 4, and your slope is 3, then let's go all the way back to our first problems that we did, where you were given the y-intercept and the slope. Remember how easy those were? You simply wrote y equals, then the slope, then x, and then the y-intercept. Remember that? But notice, students, that's not what the problem said. The problem said that I have the x-intercept, so I cannot take a shortcut. So let's think this through. I'm telling you right now, the line passes through the x-axis at where? 4. So the line is going to pass through that point. Now, students, stop and think. What is this point called? It's called 4, what? 0. So if the line passes through the x-axis at 4, that also means the line passes through this point. So, if the line has an x-intercept of 4, then it also has a point of 4, 0. So there's my point, there's my slope. So now I'm ready for this formula here. So x, y, m, y minus 0 equals m 3 times x minus x, which is 4. Now, y minus 0 is y. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. And look, students, there's really nothing else to do because y is already by itself. Okay? Number 33. Okay, now the directions say, okay, listen carefully. The directions say to write a linear equation that passes through this point here and is parallel to this line here. Now listen carefully and think about this. In order for me to write a linear equation, I need some information, right, students? Like back here, I was given a point and the slope, right? Way back here, I was given the slope and the y-intercept. So, if I'm going to write a linear equation, I need some information. And so far, all that I know is the line passes through this point. That is not enough information. I need something else. Well, guys, think about this. When two lines are parallel, here's your y-axis, here's your x-axis. Think about this. When two lines are parallel, they have to have the same slope. They have to. Because if these lines are never going to touch, that means they have to be running at the same slope. Okay? Has to. So, the line that I'm trying to write a linear equation for is parallel to this line here. Now hold it. I know this slope is not y all by itself. Sure it is. So if y is by itself, the number in front of x is your slope. So, what is the slope for this linear equation here? Well, it's what? 1. Because of this 1 here. Now, if the line I'm looking for is parallel to this line here, which it is, then they have to have the same slope. So if this line's slope is 1, then the line I'm trying to write the linear equation for, it must also have a slope of 1. So here we go. Here's my m, here's my x, here's my y, here's my formula, and here we go. Y minus y, which is 0, equals m, which is 1, times x minus x, which is negative 2. So, y minus 0 is y, x minus a negative 2 is a positive 2. Take your 1, multiply it through. 1 times x is x, 1 times 2 is 2. And we're finished because y is all by itself. Okay? Okay, students, moving on to page 288. The directions say to write the equation of the line in slope intercept form. So here we go. Now, students, notice in this problem here, we are given the y-intercept. Now, that's a huge help, student. Remember, anytime you know the y-intercept and the slope, there's no work to do. You just write the equation. So, can we find the slope? Guys, of course we can. We have a point here on the line, point here, right? So if we'll run from left to right and sloping downward, okay? So it's 1, 2, 3. My run is 1. So negative 3 over 1, or in other words, negative 3. So do I know the slope? Yes. Do I know my y-intercept might be? Yes. So how do you write those quickly? You write y, then equals, then your slope, then x, and then your y-intercept, and you're finished. Now this shortcut only works, students, when you know the y-intercept and the slope. But when you know those two things, take advantage of it and solve the problem quickly, okay? 21. You're given 2 points. So, here's my formula. Let's see. First of all, we have to find our slope. So, m equals x minus x over y minus y. My first x is negative 1 minus 2. My first y is negative 2 minus my second y is 6. So my slope is, you owe me $1, you owe me 2 more, negative 3, you owe me 2, you owe 6 more, it's negative 8. Negative over negative is positive. So there's your slope. Now students, once you know the slope, all that you need is 1 point to write your linear equation. Are you listening, students? It does not matter which point you use. I'm going to use this one here just because I feel like it. Here's my x, my y, and my m. So, y minus y, which is negative 2, equals m 3/8 times x minus x, which is negative 1. So, y minus a negative 2 is y plus 2. X minus a negative 1 is positive 1. Take your 3/8, multiply it through. 3/8 times x is 3/8 x. 3/8 times positive 1 is positive 3/8. Now get y by itself. Bring your 2 over. Make it negative, okay? So y equals 3/8 x minus 1 and 5/8. Okay? Now, that is a great answer. You can also put y equals 3/8 x minus 13 over 8. Alright? Any of those will be fine. Actually, I'm looking in the back of the book here, and it looks like I missed this. So let's start over and see if I can find my mistake here. It looks like I might have done my slope backwards. Sure did, guys. Sorry. I've done this for years. I know better than that. So let's do this again. Apologize. It's y minus y over x minus x, which equals, if you do all the work, trust me, it would be 8/3, not 3/8, okay? So there we go. Now let's solve the problem again. Y minus my y, which is negative 2, and it is 8/3. X minus my x, which is negative 1. Y minus negative 2 is y positive 2. 8/3 times x is 8/3 x. 8/3 times, well, this is a negative 1, so a positive 1. 8/3 times 1 is 8/3, which is the same thing as 2 and 2/3. Now, bring your 2 over, make it a negative 2, and we're left with y equals 8/3 x, positive 2 and 2/3, leaves you with positive 2/3. And that is, students, the correct answer. Okay? Number 23. Okay, students, we're given 2 points here. So let's write our linear equation. First of all, here's our formula. Alright? Now remember, before we use this formula, we first have to find the slope, okay? So here we go. Slope is y minus y over x minus x, which would be negative 2 minus negative 2. My x's would be negative 1 minus 3, which would give me negative 2 plus 2, which is 0. Negative 1, negative 3 is negative 4. Now, students, listen carefully. If the 0 would have been at the bottom, then my slope would be undefined. Okay, please understand that. But my 0's in the numerator up top, so my slope is 0. Okay, so my slope is 0. Let's pick one of our points. Does not matter which one you pick. I'm going to pick this one here. There's my x, there's my y, there's my m. So y minus a negative 2 equals m, which is 0. X minus my other x, which is 3. So y minus negative 2 is y positive 2. 0 times x is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. 0 minus 0 is 0. Bring your 2 over, make it negative, and there's your answer. The equation of the line that passes through these 2 points is y equals negative 2. Alright, 25, here we go. We're given 2 points. Let's find the slope quickly. Y minus y, that's negative 3 minus 7. X minus x, that's 2 minus a, negative 3. Negative 3, negative 7, negative 10. 2 minus a negative 3 is plus 3, which is positive 5. Negative over a positive is negative. 10 over 5 is 2. So the slope is going to be negative 2. Okay? Now, let's choose a point here. I'm going to choose this one here for no reason in particular. There's my x, my y, and my m. So y minus a, negative 3 equals m, negative 2, x minus 2. Y minus a negative 3 is positive 3. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4. Bring the 3 over, make it a negative 3, and we're left with y equals negative 2x positive 1. So, the equation of the line that passes through these 2 points here is this. Alright? Number 27. Okay, students, let's write the linear equation of the line that passes through these 2 points. So first of all, let's find the slope. Y minus y, negative 4 minus 2, over x minus x. 6 minus a, negative 1, negative 4, negative 2, negative 6. Negative 1 is positive 1. N is a, positive 7. So negative over positive is negative. The slope would be negative 6/7. Okay? Now, choose one of these points. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to use this one. Here's my formula. Here we go. y minus y, which is 2, equals m, which is negative 6/7, x minus x, which is negative 1. So, y negative 2 cannot be simplified. Negative 1 makes that a positive 1. Negative times the positive is negative 6/7 x. Negative times the positive is negative 6/7 times 1 is 6/7, okay? Now, bring your negative 2 over, make it a positive 2, and we're left with negative 6/7 x plus 1 and 1/7. Now, students, in a second, I will show you where I got this, but first of all, that is an acceptable answer, or you can also have this right here. 1 and 1/7 is the same thing as 8/7, okay? Now, how did I get this? Well, guys, think about it. I have negative 6/7 and I'm positive 2 over 1, right? Sure. So, common denominator for 7 and 1 is 7. So this fraction stays the same. Over here, my 1 became a 7, so 1 goes into 7 times 2 is 14. So I have a negative 6, positive 14, that's a positive 8 over 7, okay? And that's how I got this answer right here, okay? So either one of these two are fine, okay? Alright, moving on to number 29. Okay, students, first of all, let's find our slope. So, y minus y, that's 1 minus 4, x minus x is 1 minus 7, which would give you a negative 3 over a negative 6, which is negative over negative, that's a positive, and 3 over 6 is 1/2. So the slope will be a positive 1/2, okay? Now, we'll use this one here. Here's my model. So, y minus y, which is 1, equals m, which is 1/2, x minus x, which is 1, y negative 1, there's nothing I can do to that. 1/2 times x is 1/2 x, 1/2 times negative 1 is negative 1/2, okay? Bring your negative 1 over, make it a positive 1, y equals 1/2 x positive 1/2, because you have a whole 1 and you take away half of it and you're left with a positive 1/2. Alright, number 31, let's find the slope first. Y minus y over x minus x. Now, this is going to be interesting, guys. Negative 6, negative 3 is a positive 3. So I get a negative 3 over 0. Got it, guys? Now, when the 0's in the bottom, the denominator, that means the slope is undefined. Now, guys, students, what did I teach you way back when we started studying slopes? If a slope is 0, it is a horizontal line. If the slope is undefined, it is a vertical line. So the equation that I'm trying to write is the equation of a vertical line. So maybe it would help us if we just quickly graph the line. We can't use this formula here Because to use this formula here, you have to have the what? Slope. And there is no slope. It's undefined. So, let's graph this real quick. One point is 5, -6. The other point is 5, -3. So there's my vertical line right there, passing through 5 on the x-axis. So there's your answer, guys, right in front of you. Remember, when you have a vertical line, it's going to be an x equation, and it's going to equal where the line passes through the x-axis. Okay? So, it's going to be x equals 5. And that's it. Vertical line, x equals 5. Okay? Remember, guys, vertical lines are x equals equations. Horizontal lines are y equals equations. Okay? Alright, number 45. The directions say to which of the lines are perpendicular. Now, guys, listen. Parallel lines have what? The same slope. Okay? But listen, perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. In other words, if the slope of one line is 2/3, okay, then the slope of the line that's perpendicular to that line would be, well, it's opposite. That means change the sign. So if this is positive, it's negative. Reciprocal means flip it. And there we go. Is that easy, guys? If two lines are truly perpendicular, then their two slopes will be opposite reciprocal. That means the signs will be different. One will be positive, one will be negative, and they'll be flipped. Okay, one will be flipped when compared to the other. So, with that in mind, here we go. Notice something, students. Listen carefully. All of these equations have y all by themselves. So because of that, we know the slope right away. The slope of this line is 1/5. The slope of this line is 5. And the slope of this line here is -5. Okay? There we go. So, let's compare each slope and see which lines are perpendicular. Now, this is 1/5. So, if there is a line perpendicular to this line, its slope would be what? Well, change the sign and flip it. Flip 1/5 to get 5 over 1, which is 5. Are any of these slopes -5? This one is. So this slope here and this slope here are opposite reciprocals. Thus, this line here and this line here are perpendicular. Okay? Alright, number 46. Write an equation of a line that passes through this point here and is perpendicular to this line here. So really, students, the only thing you know right now is that the line passes through this point here. You don't know anything else. You really need the slope. Remember, guys, if I know the line I'm looking for is perpendicular to this line here, and look, y is by itself, what's the slope of this line right here? Is what? -4, right? So, if the slope of this line is -4, then take this, change the sign, and then flip this. 4 is really over 1, so when you flip 4 over 1, you get 1/4. There, because look, guys, the line I'm looking for is perpendicular to this line. So their two slopes have to be opposite reciprocals. Okay? So now, I know the slope of the line I'm looking for. I know this point, so I'm ready to use this formula here. Here's my x, here's my y, here's my m. So y minus y, which is 2, equals m, which is 1/4, times x minus x, which is 0. Y negative 2, nothing I can do to that. 1/4 times x is 1/4 x. 1/4 times 0 is 0. Bring your 2 over, make it a positive 2. And y equals 1/4 x plus or positive 2. Okay? Alright, number 47. Same thing. Write an equation of a line that passed through this point and is perpendicular to this line. Now, this line here has a slope of 1/2, correct? So, now, if the slope of this line here is 1/2, then the slope of the line I'm looking for is negative 2, because I changed the sign of this. It's positive, so I use a negative sign. I flip 1/2, which is 1/2. Why do I do all that? Because the line I'm looking for and this line here, they are perpendicular lines. Thus, their slopes have to be opposite reciprocals. Okay? So, here's the slope of the line I'm looking for. Here's the ordered pair. So I'm ready for this formula here. Y minus y, which is 5, equals m, which is negative 2, times x minus x, which is 4. So here we go. Y negative 5 equals negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 8. Bring your negative 5 over, make it a positive 5, and your answer is y equals negative 2x positive 13. Alright? Now, students, what that means is the line that passed through this point and is perpendicular to this line has this equation here. Okay? Students, that's all for today. I hope this video has been a help. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to contact me.